Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with BBQ Champs Academy Live. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. Some awesome cooks. We got a couple steak cookers and barbecue cookers as well with Marcio. So we're really looking forward to tonight's show. We're going to open it up to a Q&A. So if you've got questions for any of these guys or gals, gal, shall I say, Miss Kathlyn, certainly let us know. And I'm looking for a fun show tonight. We got a stacked house. We're going to try to do this here for the next few weeks. As you know, we are getting ready to approach our 3-year anniversary coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's right. Barbecue Champs Academy started June the 28th in 2019. So we're going to continue to try to bring in a stacked house with a lot of folks and talk about barbecue and steak competitions and everything else. So as you come in, certainly let us know. Mr. Gordon, I see that you are here. I can always count on you being here. How are you doing? Mr. Merv, thank you for showing up. Dustin, I see you are here. Thank you for showing up as well. Who else we got? Justin. Hey, everyone. Great job this weekend, Mike. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I missed the grand champion by 1 point. I just needed I had a second brisket, a fourth chicken, a sixth rib. I thought I had an amazing rib. I really thought it was a top 2 or 3 rib, and it was sixth place. It was tight, though. It was a 3-way tie for first place. All 3 had a 72. My sixth place was a 70. So that's how close it was. But I'll take what I can get. I GC'd it last year or GC'd it this year. I'll take it. I love that little place over in Minden, Louisiana. It's always a lot of fun, and it's awesome the way they open up the town for us, and we have a lot of fun. So thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. Candace, thank you for being here as well. Yes, I am really looking forward to the show also. Mr. Terry Roan, got the world champ here in the house tonight. Thank you, Terry, for being here. Mr. Rick, we appreciate you being here as well. Who else we got? John, thank you for being here. Let's see, 94 degrees and no power. Man, that is not good. I hope it's not one of these rolling blackouts, because I know there's a lot of people out here, they're already talking about rolling blackouts happening, and man, there's nothing worse than having power shut off when it's 94 degrees outside. So hopefully that's not the case. Let's see, Paul, thank you for being here. Jared, thank you for being with us today. Hello from the southern Oklahoma. It's been a while since I got to watch you live, but catch you on YouTube. Well, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Mr. Brody's in the house. Thank you, Brody. Appreciate you being here, and certainly do appreciate you being on the show last week. Brandon. Hey, Brandon, he's in the other room. So I was trying to get Brandon to quit doing his ancillary stuff and pop on the show. Come in there, sit beside Kathlyn. He was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So Kathlyn's going to be the lady of the hour. Juke, we thank you for being here. Where you at? There you are. Get the right one. And hope you're doing well. Morgan, thank you for being here with us. Man, we got quite a few folks coming on. Looking forward to the show. Mr. Razbraz himself. Hey, Mike, you've got 3 great cooks on tonight. Good stuff. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. I'm going to try to get 3 or 4 cooks on every week. We're going to see if we can fill this up, have a lot of fun, and talk some barbecue and steak. We're going to try to mix it up between both of them. So they're saying 107 there next week. Yeah, I tell you what, that's too deadgum hot. I mean, it gets hot in Louisiana. About the highest we've had so far. We've been bumping that 99-100 degree here a week or so ago, but 107 is unbearable. Mr. Larry Dwayne Anderson, buddy, I absolutely missed you this weekend. I sure wished you could have made it. I heard that they've got you shoved in doing a lot of work, and I hate that you couldn't make it, but by goodness, I hope we get to see you soon. Patrick, thank you for being here. Veril, thank you for coming. Man, I don't know if I've seen you in a while. Thank you for being here tonight. So let's see. Now, I don't want to mess this name up. Margietta, maybe, if I get that right. I don't think I did, but I appreciate, Miss Hartley, that you're here. Thank you for being here. I'll get it that away. Steve Noble, thank you for being here. Here from our barbecue champs, Mr. John Lindsey, and my team, Arcasipi teammate, Kathlyn Crain. Well, thank you, sir, for being here. Yes, sir. Team Arcasipi's in the house tonight, that's for sure. Stephen, thank you for being here. Greetings from Saginaw, Texas. Yes, so, yeah, I thought it's been a while. We expect you now that you've got back in the routine. I need you here. We always want as many of our guests to be here as possible. Sean, thank you for being here. Mark, we appreciate you coming in. I'm giving everybody just a few moments to pop in before we get started. So it gives us just a few minutes to kind of recognize everybody. And I certainly want to always give a shout out to everybody that comes. We really do appreciate it. It makes our shows so much better when we got more people involved and more comments. We're definitely going to open it up to a Q&A. So if you got questions for Marcio or Kathlyn or John, certainly fire them off in the comments. I will try to monitor the comments as well and get the questions asked and see if we can pick their brains a little bit. So we got a great lineup of some awesome talent that's out there in the cooking world today in the barbecue and in steak. Who else we got here? Pat, thank you for being here. So I want to give a real quick shout out to all of our partners that help us do this. Couldn't do what we do without them. Be Extreme Barbecue, thank you, Mr. Danny Helm. Prairie Fresh, I did talk to my main contact there, David at Prairie Fresh. We're going to see if we can perhaps get those guys maybe on one of our podcasts so we can hear a little bit more about their ribs and their processing and how they go about doing it. Absolutely love their ribs and their pork butts and their pork loins. They're absolutely amazing. So be sure to check them out. You can get it at RaiderRedMeats.com. They're in Lubbock, Texas. Great organization over there. Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford and his barbecue pit products. We appreciate him so much. Mr. Wild Bill with Texas Select Seasoning. David with Gunter Wilhelm Knives. Always appreciate him and the awesome knives that he has. My good friend Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store. Awesome ship times. Can get that stuff turned around a lot of times, even if orders are called in at 4:30. They're usually good about getting stuff out. That man right there is coming in, Mr. John Lindsey, all queued up. They got an awesome company as well, steakrubs.com. Be sure to check those guys out. And last but not least, my dear friend Gail down at Daigle's Barbecue. They've got some awesome sauces and glazes and some great rubs as well. I use it every weekend in my competitions that I'm out on the circuit. I love their product. If you haven't ever tried their pecan garlic, it is the bomb. All right, we've got a couple more folks that's come in here. Oh, yes, that man right there is always a force to be reckoned with. James, thank you, buddy, for being here. I hope Erica's hanging around somewhere. Thank you for being here. And this guy here, Mr. Chucky. Get up, Chucky. Man, Adam, I tell you what, man, you have been absolutely killing it here lately. Congratulations. I think you had another great weekend this past weekend. So you've been tearing it up, man, and just keep it up. You guys are rocking it. So let's see. Toby, thank you for being here as well. Look, we got about 40 folks in here. That's a pretty good crowd for tonight. Let's get things started. Heard enough of me talking, giving everybody a chance to come in. And I'm going to pop over here. We're going to bring in our first guest. This man right here, Mr. Marcio. Thank you, buddy, for being here tonight. He's with Hog Addiction. And this man is awesome. He is the Memphis in May 2019 Memphis in May Whole Hog World Champion. Marcio, thank you, buddy. He's been having a little problem with his camera kicking off. He'll be right back, though. He'll get that camera going. We'll bring in. There he is.
I'm back.
I don't know why that camera keeps doing that. Marcio, thank you for being here, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike. Long time no see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I tell you what, you're always a lot. I see you on our show. I see you posting. You always got such awesome food. And I was like, I've got to get him on here. I've had a list for a mile long for the last 3 months. And I finally got everybody in that I needed to get in. And I was like, I'm getting Marcio on this show before this is over with. So, but I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. So that's guest number one. He's an awesome barbecue cook, and I think he throws down a few steaks as well. So is that true? You do some steak competitions, don't you?
Every now and then, yeah.
No, I figured you did. All right, next up, the lady of the hour, none other than Miss Kathlyn Crain. Thank you, Kathlyn.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good. Kathlyn's with Trump My Rump. She is an awesome steak cooker. Competes heavily in the SCA. I know I've got a chance to run in with her a couple times at the the SCA World Championship. So great to have you on here.
Hey, it's an honor to share the screen with y'all tonight. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, I think we're going to have a great time. And,
likewise, Kathlyn.
Yeah, and last but not least, now look, if we don't know who this guy is, I mean, come on, right here, Mr. John Lindsey, all queued up. The man behind All Queued Up Steak Shake, the man behind Arcasippy Smoke Live. Arcasippy Smoke Live? Did I get that right? So, man,
good to be on here with you, Mike, and good to be, like Kathlyn said, sharing the screen with these two phenomenal cooks. Man, I look up to both of them, and it's good to be on tonight. Good to see you. Long time no see, brother.
I know it. It's been a while. You've been so busy, and I think I've been pretty busy myself. And I mean, hey, we're here tonight. My goodness, we'll at least get to share the screen for a little bit. We got folks just steadily coming in. Man, I'm trying to see it. Terry, Terry says hi, Marcio. So
Hey,
does
Terry.
Raz. Let's see, Colin. Thank you also, Bobby Stewart. Yes, sir. There we go. Got folks just steadily rolling in here. Candace, Marcio is one of a kind for sure. He's an awesome individual and a great cook. That he is. There's no doubt. So. John Lindsey, is he new? I don't know. We keep hearing about this guy. Every once in a while, he's always posting on social media. He does all these deadgum videos on Instagram. So yeah, I figured he'd probably be kind of a good guy to get on here. So yeah, it is a screen full of
He's new. He's new to
commentaries.
this thing, huh?
I'm glad to be
He
here. I'll
is.
put it that way.
He is. All right, so let's kick things off. And if y'all have got questions for any of these guys or gal, let me know. We'll get it posted. Pop it in the comment. But I want to talk to Marcio. I've really never got a chance to talk a whole lot. I know a little bit about the man from his accomplishments at here, the 2019 Memphis in May Whole Hog World Champion. That's something that you don't hear every day. And congratulations on that, Marcio. But tell me a little bit about this man named Marcio. Tell me how he got started. Did he have a mother, a father, an aunt, an uncle that got him into barbecue? Where are you from? How you got started? And what led you into competition barbecue?
Well, first of all, Mike, thank you very much for the recognition. I don't have this really big story, I mean, barbecue is something that really come up. I do recall my grandparents, my grandfather was the one that always cooked hogs when at the age of 8, I remember going across town with this wheelbarrow and my papa would butcher a hog and just literally they would just kill her right there and he would toss on that wheelbarrow. We'd just go across town and take it to the house and skin it and, do everything there. It was very interesting because when I married my wife, now this is my grandfather in Brazil. Just to backtrack my story, I grew up in Brazil, and at the age of 17, I moved to America, and I married into Louisiana to a Louisiana girl.
Heck
So
yeah, you did
I
good.
could not made a better choice, or so I got lucky on that. To learn that the food of Louisiana and the culture's just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But her grandfather, he is a hog lover himself. That man has everything. The glass, the glass on his front door, it's a hog. It's a painted glass and it has a hog in it. Everything
Right.
that he has in his house, it's a towel hanger from a book to read on the toilet. It's funny.
That's funny.
And I've been very blessed, and I'm gonna tell you this. My success is nothing less but incredible people that I have either learned from and joined to learn the American way of cooking and barbecue, and having a little bit of background of cooking. I've cooked since the age of that I can remember. Cooking has always been in my family. Italians are my fam. I was born in Brazil. Our background is Italian, so we cook a lot. Men cook, and that's just what we do. And so my wife's family from Louisiana, men cook as well. So you know how it is. There's no secret there. But the reason of my success, once again, is just great folks that I met along the way that have helped me, taught me a lot. And then, I have I could not handpick a better team that I have right now. It's incredible guys that absolutely love to cook, and they're in it to make this team a success. And a huge part of it are them. They add so much to our team.
Right.
So that's basically it. I don't have the Cinderella story.
Wow.
So
That's pretty interesting right there. So
I merged into steak after Memphis because everything was kind of shut down. We couldn't cook anything else, and so I cooked steak for a little while, and then We got this year.
Uh-oh.
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 Dang.
Well, we was just getting going there, weren't we? So,
Where'd he go?
well, there we
There you
go. He's back. He's
Um,
just teasing us is what he's
Yeah.
doing. All right. Go
so
ahead.
we got back in the trail this year, and so we're cooking MBN, and we had a very successful year so far, and we're looking to get real busy here comes August. So back to cooking, and we're taking a little break. It's a little hot, but needless to
Yeah.
say that August still very hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's hot. There is no doubt. Now, did you cook in Memphis in May this year in Whole Hog?
we did.
Okay. How did you end up doing?
So we ended up 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tough competition this year.
I think this year was down the biggest whole hog that Memphis ever had. There was a lot of teams this year, a lot of
Right.
teams. I think the area was larger, so they could accommodate more people, and that was one of the reasons they're not at Tommy Lee Park.
Right.
And so being a larger area, they put more teams in. I don't think it'll be the same when we go back to the park.
Right.
So incredible cooks out there. I mean, our friends, of course, Mark Lambert, he is just an incredible cook.
Yeah.
One of the most humble men in the barbecue. Super talented,
Yeah.
very creative, and a man that you don't need to just learn from barbecue from him. You can learn how to be, how to be a father, or anything else as a community man or example to the community. You can learn a lot more than barbecue from Mark Limmer. That's what separates him from everybody else, and I admire that on him.
Right.
And then you got Boars Night Out, our friends. They
Oh,
did
yeah.
very well. There was a lot of people out there.
Right.
Did very well, and you know how it is. And if your friends are doing well, we all compete. But when they're up on that big stage, it just makes you just as happy.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%. Stephen said he've only met you once. He said it was in Hartsville, Alabama, that you made the trophies. Absolutely beautiful trophies, I might add. Do you have a granite business as well as cooking? So
yeah,
so you do. Okay. So
yeah.
that's
So
where the beautiful trophies came from. All right.
correct. So
Awesome.
we all have to have a job to keep up with the insanity of cooking.
That's for sure. Especially with diesel prices, it's $5.30 a gallon down here. I'm sure in other points of the areas it's $5.50, $6. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday out in California, and he said it was almost $7 a gallon out there. So it's just
Wow.
insane what this stuff is costing. So, but yeah, it's something that we have a lot of fun with. And it sounds like you've got a pretty fascinating story. One quick question: when did you get started into the competition?
Probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
what was your first one? Just jumping in Memphis in May and getting into whole hog, or how did you do
no,
that?
Memphis in May was just we cooked KCBS and we cooked other contests and whole hogs, but Memphis in May was like it started with a conversation of a few people saying, "Hey, y'all want to go cook a hog there?" 2019 was a very different year. I got into this thing about cooking a lot of catering, a lot of hogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had cooked about 20 hogs that year. And there was never an expectation to win Memphis. It was, I see Memphis as this, Mike. Memphis in May is sort of a privilege because it cost a lot to get there.
Yeah.
Right. So, it doesn't, because we're there, I know there's a lot of talent, but also, it requires a lot of money to get there and cook. It's an expensive contest.
Mm-hmm.
I see totally as a privilege.
Yeah,
Other than that,
that's
and
awesome.
we came in like, hey guys, just to be here, it's incredible. Like, and then man, we final, and then we take first place. It was out of this world. It was a feeling that when you don't expect, it's even better, right? Because you
Right.
come in, you're like, dude, we're like when we
Just
got told that
enjoy
we're
it.
we're top
Yeah.
three, dude. At that point, like we couldn't keep
Yeah.
ourselves from looking at each other and just crying and overwhelmed by the emotions,
Absolutely.
So I can go back and think about everything that we did then, and just it's incredible.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so
That's awesome. That is a great, great story,
so
man.
yeah, so to answer your question, Memphis in May was our very first show, very first time we went, and very first time we won. So
That's man, what a feeling that had to have been.
yeah.
So, all right, Miss Caitlin, you're up. We're going. If y'all have any questions for Marcio, let me know. Pop them in the comments. If you want to know anything about him and his cooking and this and that and everything else, he's just a great guy. He can cook anything. So, um, I remember Sonny Mooney. I guess she consulted with you, got you to come up. I remember last year she this girl's got guns, right? And she builds her own pit with cinder blocks and everything else. And oh my gosh, I guess you kind of helped her along the way. That was a really really cool deal right there. So
Yeah,
um,
I think her and Jeff, we talked, and she was like, I want to do a whole hog. And we were happen to, my brother-in-law lives in the same town she lives in. And we're like,
yeah,
hey, talk to my wife. She's like, hey, let's go see my brother. And we do
yeah,
this. So we
yeah.
kind of all hang out, and she knocked it out of the park, dude.
Oh,
Literally, so
it
it was
looked
incredible.
great. It looked great. All right, Caitlin, you're up, girl. Tell
Yes,
us a little
sir.
bit. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on. I know that you have just been doing very, very well in the SCA. I know you've laid off for the last 4 or 5 weeks,
Yes,
and
sir.
but man, I know talking to you before the show, you're fixing to get ready to go out and tear it up. But
Yes, sir.
before the layoff, you have been doing very well this year, hadn't you?
Yes, Brandon and I took about 6 weeks off, hanging with friends and family, and enjoying that time. But missing our SCA family, so we're ready to get back there, out there on the road this weekend in Searcy, Arkansas.
Okay.
We're actually going to probably be keeping that road hot. We're going to be cooking probably about 2 to 3 comps a month. So
Okay.
looking probably between now and December. So it's going to be fun. We're excited. First and foremost, thanks for having me tonight. It's
Oh,
truly an honor to be sharing this screen with all three of y'all. I look up to every one of y'all, and thank you so much.
well, you're a big inspiration to all of us
Yeah.
too. You don't know it, but you are. I mean,
Thank y'all.
you've been a very very great spokesperson for Barbecue Champs, and I'm going to thank you for being on the show, and thank you for what you've done because it really means a lot to us when we have people out there that have taken our classes and given us shout outs and stuff like that. Because there's so many people they don't really realize just how good these classes are, and over the years, yeah, we're approaching our 3rd year anniversary in 2 weeks, and a lot of people do know they are good classes, but
Oh yeah.
when cooks are out saying, "Hey, I took the class and I got a first, or I did this, or I did
Definitely.
that," I don't have to say it; it sells itself. And I want
Yeah.
to thank you 100% for doing that, and I really do appreciate it. But
Well, appreciate this platform because I definitely wouldn't be if you had told me 2 years ago I'd be sitting right here and talking to you on this podcast. I would have said no.
yeah,
But with your platform of Barbecue Champs and just my SCA family, they have really just helped me out from day one. So it's just
right.
been fantastic, and y'all will forever hold a special place in my heart.
Well, you as well. That's for sure. So have you cooked enough to get your golden ticket yet?
Yes, sir. I got a first place call in Carlisle, Arkansas at the Arkansas State Championship back in April.
Okay.
It was kind of cool that night. They had a wing ancillary, and of course, Brandon cooks ancillaries, and I cook steak. He actually pulled a first place wing that night, and I pulled a first place steak.
Yep.
First time that's
Wow.
ever happened for us at the same time. So that was
Wow.
super special. My next goal, so that's the second time I've won first place. I got first place once last year and first place once this year. Now my new goal is I want to be able to pass it down. So I want to win
Right.
first place again this year. I've never gotten to pass down that golden ticket from first
Right.
place. So that's my goal from now to December. So hopefully I can reach that. So
Well, you've been cooking lights out in the first part of the year until you set
right.
off. So, and I think you're starting to become a seasoned pro. You've been out there enough. You're doing it. You're probably getting pretty comfortable. It's going to hurt a little bit, I'm sure, laying off for 3 or 4 weeks, unless if you've been
Oh,
cooking and staying
well,
practicing. But
last weekend I went to the river with some of my friends from therapy school, and I said, "Hey, I'm bringing my PK grill. What
There
do
you
y'all
go.
want me to cook?" And of course,
Yep.
they all 3 of them said steak. I was like, "Deal." So
There we go.
I cooked 3 ribeyes and a filet mignon for all of them last weekend. They said it was great.
There you
So
go.
I had a little bit of practice, and we've been cooking some odds and ends stuff here at the house, and
Good.
we go up to the lake a lot with our family, so we've been doing a lot of cooking up there. So we are super excited to get back there, back on that trail and hit it hard and see all of our SEA family and just have a good time. And hopefully we won't get the wind kicked out of ourselves, but we'll see. Hey, win or lose, we have a good time as soon as our feet hit the ground. So
that's all that counts. You know, to me, you keep saying family. I mean, I'm the same way with our barbecue family. We have such a good time all being together. Man, Friday it was so awesome in Minden. And it was pretty hot right off the get-go, but a little rain came in. It cooled it off. The sun never came out. It just stayed nice and cool all day. And gosh, we just got to hang out with everybody and talk and just chill out. And it is a lot of fun. There's no doubt.
for sure.
Well, looky who's in the house tonight. Another world champion, Mr. Mark Lambert. Some of my favorite peeps on here tonight. Thank you, Mark, for joining us. 7-time 7. God, what are you going to do, Mark, when you go over to 10 and we run out of freaking fingers? I guess we'll have to be pulling our feet out and you start counting toes, brother, because man, alive, you're killing it. But appreciate you, Mark, being here tonight. And Marcio was really talking highly of you just a minute ago. So I don't know if you heard him, but he was sure touting you up. So Kathlyn Crain is one of the best. Is a great person as well as a great cook. I 100% agree. Let's see, Candace. Kathlyn is an amazing young lady that is always humble and an inspiration to be around. No doubt. I mean, I remember the first time I ever met her. It was at the SCA World Championship last year. She was walking around, had a boot on. Poor thing. And I was like, but she did not let that boot slow her down. She came over there, gave me a big hug. And I was just like, man, I mean, it was so awesome. So I am so looking forward to going back out again to that for next year. So, oh, goodness gracious. Man, we got a lot of folks here. Best ranch dressing in the world. So,
got my ranch.
There you go. Let's see what else we got. Morgan, barbecue camp classes are the best. They help to flatten the learning curve. Thank you so much, Morgan. And we appreciate any shout outs you give us while you're there on the stage. It really helps us so much, and we really do appreciate it. Let's see, Steve. Kathlyn is absolute breath of fresh air. Her smile can make anyone cook have a bad day forget about their troubles. Absolutely.
Thank you,
so, Mark Lambert, let's see, you got that right. Look at who we got. Lee Hickle in the house. My goodness, we got half a barbecue champ showing up. Lee, man, I tell you what, Lee had a good cook this weekend in Minden. I think he had a big second place rib. They did a People's Choice in pork butt, and he got a second place. Him and Donald King cooked together on the pork butt. They ran Lee's recipe. Donald cooked it and turned it in. Second place on that. So Lee is making. He's back on his road trip. He did Memphis. Now he's fixing to head up to Indiana or Illinois. I think it's Indiana for a doubleheader KCBS. Then he's heading down to Biloxi for another BCA, and then I don't know. He's got 5 or 6 competitions in a row. So Lee, thank you for being here, and thank you for Barbecue Champs for doing what you do. Thank you, Lee, brother, and thank you for being part of Barbecue Champs Academy. You are truly a great cook and a great friend. And poor Lee, we had all kind of problems. He came in from Corpus, from Aranis Pass. He got here. He was 4 miles from the house, so he was driving in on Thursday night so we could leave out Friday morning. Lee's trailer breaks down 4 miles from the house, broke a leaf spring. Tires go together, rubbing, had to pull off the side of the road. He said, I'm 4 miles from your house. We go in, we found a leaf spring here in town. Thank goodness they had one. We got it all changed. Got everything done. Got him to the house. We left out. He calls me Sunday. He's like, you ain't gonna believe it. He said, I'm pulling in my parents. He said, all the lugs on that wheel got loose, broke 2 studs. All the lugs were gone except 1 or 2. I think 2 were barely holding the tire on. And I watched him tighten those lug nuts. And I was like, dang. So he got some new lugs pressed in the hub today. And I think he's going to be on his way tomorrow to take off to go to Indiana. So Lee, safe travels, and hopefully nothing else happens to that trailer. So anyway, let's see what else we got. What's up, guys? That we got here. KB's Outdoor Kitchen. Morgan was fortunate enough to meet Kathlyn and Brandon at the world's absolutely wonderful people. Yeah,
Thank you, Morgan.
absolutely.
Same to you.
KB Outdoor, Mark Lambert. Hi, I can't wait till Round Rock. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Yes, and Caitlin always has a smile on her face and never complains about anything. She's a genuine attitude that is contagious.
Thank you, Miss
Well, that's
Candy.
got to say, I keep telling you, I'm not the only one that felt that way.
Dang,
So,
Caitlin, you're going to have the big head for
Man.
you. Show
so
I'm gonna get too big for this screen.
Yeah.
that's all right. You're going to be just right. So, well, Caitlin, I tell you what, I wish you all the best for this year. I do hope
you,
you
Mike.
reach your goal of passing that ticket down. It
Thank
sounds
you
like
so
you've
much.
really got your head on your shoulders. You've been really killing it. You're very, very consistent now. And I'm really, really happy for you. And Brandon as well. Let's don't forget about him.
Yes,
He's
sir.
been crushing the ancillaries. I know before y'all took your 4 or 5 week hiatus of taking off, I mean, for some downtime. I mean, he was what, 3rd or 4th in the ancillary point.
I think he made it to 3rd, 4th, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I think he maybe got pushed down to 8th, but
Hey,
with the one turn in now with the ancillary, we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be super busy coming up. So hopefully he'll climb back up, and if not, hey, we're in it. It doesn't matter.
You're in it
we're
to
gonna have
win
fun.
it to have fun. Absolutely.
Yes, right, exactly right.
All right, one question, and then we're gonna get to John. What's in the ranch dressing?
Stay tuned.
Okay. I love me some ranch dressing. Now, look, you say I'm your friend, right?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I don't know if you remember. I tried to give you a jar at Texas when I met you, and you didn't have a cooler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you couldn't take it back with you to Louisiana. And I was like, oh, it's got to stay cold. You're like, I don't have a cooler.
Oh, my gosh. All right. I'm going to get some
yes.
at some point in time. I'm going to get
if
some.
Not before then, I will have a jar with your name on it at Worlds in 2023.
There you go. All right. Well, Caitlin,
Same for you, Marcio. Same for you.
Thank you so much.
I was about to feel left out. John, you want a jar too? I mean,
I've got a few of those jars.
Oh, John already got it.
The hype it's worth all the hype. It's exactly what everybody's saying about it. It really is. It's great.
Funny. That is so funny. Well, Mr. John Lindsey, brother, I tell you what, you've become kind of a big old superstar on the social media stuff. Now I want to tell you guys something a little bit about John Lindsey that you probably do not know. 2020, Mr. John Lindsey comes in the studio here at BBQ Champs, and we're going to film his tell-all steak competition cooking class. It was Super Bowl weekend. We had filmed Terry's class on Saturday, or John's on Saturday, and Terry Roan's the very next day on Sunday on Super Bowl day.
Yep.
Now, John's getting in his truck to leave to go home, and I was like, John, now you do have a Facebook page, don't you? No. I don't have a Facebook page. I was like, John, how are we going to promote you and for you to market and help promote your class and stuff without a Facebook page? Well, I guess I better get one. I would suggest you get one by the time you get home. His beautiful wife, Ashley, was driving. He was sitting in the passenger seat. It was about a 5 or 6 hour drive for him to get home. And when he got there, he texted me and he said, brother, I got a Facebook page. I'm going to send you a like. How do I do that? And now all of a sudden, John's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. He's probably got some social media platforms that we don't even know about that he's creating and starting. John Lindsey, brother, I tell you what, you are a true, true gentleman. You're an awesome inspiration to a lot of people out there. You're a big part of BBQ Champs Academy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being part of this great group of cookers that we have. So
thank you. Greatest thing I ever did up to this point, honest to goodness, was be a part of BBQ Champs. It was the best thing I could have done for me, and I felt like I was able to give back to other people. And I wouldn't have ever had the platform if it hadn't have been for BBQ Champs. Robbie Royal, Mark Lambert's on here tonight, which Mark Lambert wouldn't even remember the times that he when I was just starting out in barbecue, the times he kind of encouraged me just as somebody that he probably wouldn't even remember, but he does that to everybody, to be around those kind of people, and the list could go on and on here. We know, mm-hmm. Joey, everybody that's here. I keep missing folks, but I'm just saying, to be associated with those kind of people are second to none. And so I'm going to tell you, it's been a great honor to be a part of this BBQ Champs family, and to be able to continue to give back. Of course, I want to say this right up front if we got just a second.
Yeah.
Me and Marcio don't get to cook around each other a whole lot because of the distance, but I had one of the best pieces of barbecue I ever put in my mouth from him in Laurel, Mississippi. He cooked a whole hog. We didn't get to talk much down there, but it was probably as good as anything I've ever had. It's an honor to be on here with him tonight. And Kathlyn Crain, I met Kathlyn in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Don't remember the year, probably 2018, 2019.
Yes, sir.
Honest, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this in a great way to show you where she's come from. She didn't know anything. I mean, she just wanted to cook barbecue. She wanted to go cook. And she has worked her ever-loving rear end off and got to where she's at. And right now, when she sets her grill down, she can beat anybody on the circuit. And to just be able to see people do that and come that far, it means, hey, it's just an honor to sit here and be with them tonight. So thank you for having me on. Also, Gordon and Brenda Thompson's on here tonight, and their daughter, Kira, had a birthday yesterday. I want to say happy birthday. She's one of our Arkansas kids.
1-3.
Yeah.
Yep.
13 years old.
Teenager.
Love them. They're special people, and good to be here.
Feelings are mutual, John. Feelings are mutual, 100%.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mutual feeling, John. I seen you passed by the other day, and it was in Gadsden, John. You remember? We were there, and I was with Chad Whittington, and you kind of stopped by a little bit, and then you went, and I was like, oh dang, yeah. And we were over there. I was kind of helping Chad out a little bit, getting his stuff on the box, and doing the ancillaries. I seen you out there, and then you ended up winning that night. Congratulations.
That night, of course, you guys were you get somebody in the middle of a tourney and you can't talk to them because they're so busy. But and y'all went up winning something big, ancillaries that night too. So
yeah, Chad won the golden ticket.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. That was in Glencoe, Alabama.
Correct.
And so I've been cooking a lot, Mike. Been doing everything I could to brush up everything, and just got tired of getting beat. For about 6 months there, and I just went back to the drawing board and went and got about 2 loins and watched my barbecue champs videos one more time.
Went back
and went back to what I was doing when I was winning, and started hitting again with that, and using some of my new seasoning that I've got out that's really made a difference in those taste scores. It's really been fun. In just relieving some of this cooking pressure. You know, you get out here and you're like Marcio, you're world champion. Kathlyn's out here. We got teams. We got everything. And before you know it, if you're not really careful, you're trying to please everybody in this world except yourself.
Yep.
And I love everybody. Don't get me wrong. And I'll give you the shirt off my back. But I got worried at times if I was trying to keep up with the Joneses and everybody does it somewhere down the line. And trying to make everybody happy. And what I'm doing now is making John Lindsey happy. And I'm going out and having fun. And the people that I enjoy cooking with, we're cooking with them, and we're just having a ball. Win, lose, or draw. If we lose, we go to a good restaurant, get us a bite of something good, and come on home. And we're just blessed all the way around. So that's the way we're approaching it. And it sure is a whole lot more fun, I promise you.
Oh, it is. It is, no doubt. No doubt. So you went back to going back to watching your videos like Terry Rohn did, huh?
Yeah, I kind of pulled a Terry Rohn on that deal. And,
it's funny, and just to let everybody know, if you wasn't on last week, we have released Shauna Rapolo's new 2022 updated recipes. They are on the website, so if you already bought Shauna's class, it's no charge to you. You got it free. It's going to be the very last video in her steak class. I think it was about a 45-minute update, and we just kind of went over recipes and if anything changed along the way. She's doing some things differently now, so it's all in there, and it is up. So be sure to go check her new and latest recipes out. This is her new 2022 stuff that she's really been doing very, very well with, and I think she's kind of got it perfected pretty good. So go check that out. And also, Father's Day's coming up, and we have got a coupon code to get 15% off any class that we have on Barbecue Champs. The coupon code is DEAD15. DEAD15 is the coupon code. It's good to, I went on ahead and put it through Monday So I think that's June the 20th. And any class that we have, you can go get it 15% off. We posted about Shauna's class about 2 hours ago, right before we went on. And we put an update on our Facebook page, got a little new promo video that she's talking about her recipe. I tell you what, if everybody could do this for me, if you go to our Facebook page on BBQ Champs, you'll see the post with Shauna Rapolo. It'll be right before this live stream. I don't know if it's showing up now. But if everybody would do me a favor and go and share that and get it out to let everybody know about it, I'd really appreciate it. You know, these guys and gals come in. They're not charging anything extra for this. They're coming in, they're filming their update, and they're giving it to you free. So the one thing that I would ask, if everybody could help, you know, that's watch our show, that's part of this, go share that where more people know about it, because there's a lot of people that may be sitting on the sideline going, well, you know, that was, you know, a couple years ago, you know, but no, not now. You get the old recipe and the new recipe. You get our 2019 and 2022 recipe. So if everybody would, please do that. I'm going to be calling all the guys, Mark, Lee, all you guys, I'm calling y'all to Mark, because I need everybody to be sharing that tomorrow. I want all of our cooks to support everybody. Up next, we're probably going to be another week away, and we're going to have Mr. Terry Roan's class going up. Terry came in and did an update, and probably another week or week and a half after that, we've already had people asking about Will Collier's class is going to be updated. So we had all three of them come in on the same day, and we'll have Will's class coming up. My next person to get in here is this man down here underneath me, that guy right there, Mr. John Lindsey. And I got to get him in here. So anyway, but we really do appreciate it. We thank everybody for their support. And one of the things that we are going to do is get all of our cooks in. It's just, you know, timing is just hard to get everybody's schedule to get in here. I've got a schedule when they can get in. I got a schedule when I can get my film crew in, go over their recipes and stuff. So it's coming, you know, it's coming, and you're going to get their latest recipes by doing this. It's going to keep their classes current. We did it with Lee in January, and my goodness gracious, Lee sold like 15 classes in the first 3 or 4 weeks. So we appreciate everybody's support, but we want to make sure that we're keeping you guys updated. Me and the cooks, it's mainly the cooks. Like, I want to continue to help them. I want to let them know my latest stuff that I'm doing, because everybody's had such great success. So I just want everybody to know about that. But if you're looking for a Father's Day gift card or something, you can go to our gift card page. It's right on the home page. You can click, go to gift card. You can customize the gift card for Father's Day, and you can click it. You can buy anything that you want. We've got a bunch of different classes that you can buy. You can buy an individual barbecue class or an individual steak class or the backyard barbecue classes. And you can email it to them, or you can print it out. So, and use coupon code DAD, D-A-D 15 to get 15% off anything. So I just wanted to get that. I want to certainly wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I know there's a lot of them out there. And John, I know this is special for you with John Walker and everything.
Yes.
You know, so anyway,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about John Lindsey's new finishing dust that you've got going on. And if anybody's got any questions, now's a good time. So let's get them out there if you got some questions.
Well, you know, Mike, here's it in a nutshell. I've been using the same really kind of finishing dust since the Barbecue Champs class, all the way back there. Hadn't changed anything. You know, my techniques are the same. If you buy my class, you get exactly what I do. Matter of fact, I wasn't kidding you. I did go back and looked at some things and thought, you know, and you quit doing some little things as you go through your process if you're not careful. Sometimes it's one of those deals that just becomes muscle memory, and that's a good thing in a way. But
Right.
at the same time, you don't want to miss the details, because
Right.
the devil is definitely in the details.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer of this. I believe that if you can keep a steak, barbecue, piece of meat, whatever you're cooking, if you can keep it balanced
Right.
with flavor, keep the balance on it. I don't care what rubs you're using. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've got some Big Stream or some of Marcio's Cow Addiction, some of our Arcasipi, whatever. All of them are wonderful products. But if you can find that balance and you're keeping it balanced, I feel like if you cook it right, keep a balanced flavor. I feel like in barbecue, it and steak, it's how you finish that product that makes it or breaks it to come over the top. So my goal is when I'm cooking steak or a piece of barbecue, whatever I'm doing, I try to keep balanced flavors all the way through, try to focus on cooking it correctly. And then I feel like a lot of contests are lost in that last 2 minutes before you put that steak or you put that piece of barbecue in the box. That's where my resting rub come into play. I got to noticing when I took the product that I had made, and it is a combination of 4 of my products that I already have. Townsend Spice and Supply helped me balance those out. I wanted a good balanced finishing rub. Shane and Lawson Lynn's done a wonderful job helping me. And I added one more little product, which is that little bit of that gunpowder, they call it, or grill flavor to it. Not enough to take it over the top, but just enough to balance it. It just seemed to do something. It seemed to wake. I first used that product as my finishing dust at the Meyer Mix and Hog Drop on barbecue. Tested it out. Taste scores was really, really, really good with that. I was prototyping it. Started prototyping it on steak. And when I started prototyping it on steak, it really started really changing things. I got to noticing I was losing on taste. I was losing contests. I didn't lose contests on doneness or appearance, or I was losing on taste. You'd having folks like Tim Brown and Sandy Brown hitting 53s, 54s, and I'm hitting a 52. I'm hitting a 51, and I'm thinking, got to do something. Got to make some changes, make some tweaks. Brent Howard popped 2 54 pluses in the last 2 weeks with his grilling time. And my scores have been right up there next to that. I mean, it's just really helped me to get these last 3 wins in the last several weeks here. It's been on taste. And so we use it as a resting rub. As the steak's finishing up on the riser or it goes into the foil pack, I use it there. And then I also use it in a technique with my finishing dust. I'm gonna share all that with this new Barbecue Champs class when it comes out. And but it's called Grilling Time.
Okay.
And it's a great base.
Is it available yet?
No, it'll be about 3 or 4 more weeks. But I'm putting videos out with it now, and it's we've had several. We tried to let our team, Arcasipi, we got so many members of that thing. I wanted everybody to have a chance to get their hands on it, and we've still got some West Coast guys that. It's been real scarce to get, so I'm trying to get it to my West Coast team out there right now. And guys, I'm sorry, I got some messages today. Folks are wanting that. I think Morgan, Fidel, trying to get it to those guys before we get it put out to the public. I wanted to make sure the team had it first and had an opportunity to use it. But it's been good, and it's not anything different than a lot of people would have. It's a good balanced punch that I think works, and it's been proven to do that. So it's definitely boosted my scores, and I'm happy with it. And we're going to get it out there in the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's called Grilling Time. So
that's cool.
Be looking for that.
Okay. Marcio, do you use the finishing dust in any of your barbecue competitions? And,
I don't. Not the same steak dust, though. I use a different one. Okay. So I do finish everything. I do have a finishing dust, but not like John shared that he's using the same from one to the other.
Right. So for your barbecue, do you do that for your barbecue, or is it?
I do.
Okay, you do.
Okay. I do. Yeah, I think it, like John said, it's important, but you got to be careful with the balance of flavors, right? Because you can literally spend a lot of time on barbecue cooking, and then you throw a finishing dust there that's just going to throw everything out of the window. Yeah. And you have to find that balance. Sitting here listening to John, I just got a class from Champs Academy. Like I'm good.
You're good.
He's sharing a lot of good stuff, and I'm listening to it. But yeah, the balance on flavors is important because it doesn't have to be too sweet. It can't be too salty. It can't be too savory. It can't be too vinegary. And so you have to develop that balance. And once, I think cooking it's a passion. You have to take it as because you love to do it, not because you want to. I know winning is great, but you're not going to make every judge happy out there. But if
That's
you
right.
find a middle ground, you know, a DAL is the same to me as a 11th place
Yeah.
or second place. So
Yep.
don't, anybody cooking out there, we're trying to get discouraged from that. Don't continue to cook. Transform the cooking into I'm going to see my friends and have fun,
Yeah.
and then the winning will come to you without
That's right.
hesitation. Man, this year I like to brag on my team just a little bit. We hit 5 MBNs. We double
Wow.
final four and grand hogs for the cause, which is pretty big. Hogs
Mm-hmm.
is about 90 some teams, and
Wow.
Uh-oh. He'll pop back. Give him just a second. There he
back at it.
goes. There he goes.
So we we
Yeah,
we
that's
have.
right. You did win the whole hog and hogs for a cause, didn't you? You grand championed that,
Hmm.
didn't you?
Yeah, and so
Oh,
I think
that's awesome.
they have some tough teams. Hogs for the Cause is getting tougher and tougher and tougher because like so we went in. Hank Vaden cooked with us, and then you've got teams like James Cruz that
Yeah.
has
Oh my
an extreme
gosh.
amount of talent with it. Mark Lambert was with them and other people. And we all go in not for the winning part. Let's talk about the most important thing about Hogs for the Cause, which I
Raising
don't
money.
know if everybody knows, but raising money
Money, money.
for children with pediatric brain cancer.
Yep.
We absolutely knocked out of the park as a whole event. We raised $2.6 million,
Wow.
Wow.
and it's doing what we love, but with a lot of purpose.
That's it.
Super. This was a very emotional thing for me, and because my team knows how hard I have been trying to get with Hogs for the Cause.
Hmm.
It's not easy to get with them and get in there and cook because there's a limited amount of teams. But for us to go there, we raised almost $20,000 our team, and
Wow.
then
Yeah.
and then win the whole thing. It was very, very,
Yeah.
very good, and
That's
it's been
awesome.
a bucket list. And I'm gonna tell you, felt uh, probably better than Memphis and May because of the purpose. And
Yeah.
Yes.
and my team knows me. I do absolutely love, and there's nothing against Memphis or other events, but events that you can do what you love, but has purpose behind it, it
That's
just gives
awesome.
Yeah.
you another sense of accomplishment.
Totally agree. It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
So
100%. 100.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that we do a lot of barbecue competitions. It's raising money for foundations, this and that. People like, why do you go to all these things? It's more to it than just the barbecue competition.
Hmm.
It's the
correct.
purpose of being able to raise money for a 4-H club, or you know, I mean, they have one that's down in West Texas. That's just a fun call down there, and I mean, I don't know. To me, that is what makes barbecue so great. That there's people that's using the competitions to raise money for special needs or whatever it may be, and to be able to be part of that is huge. To be able to be part of something that raised over $2 million, man, that has to make you feel good.
Oh
So
yeah,
congratulations on that. So look, we've got
thank
about
you.
4 or 5 more minutes, and unless if everybody, do y'all have any questions? I mean, they'll open up. They ain't gonna tell you their top secret stuff, but I'm sure if you got a process or this or that, pop it out, and we'll make sure. That's the one thing that we like to do is have a Q&A. And if you've got a question that you'd like to know, let us know. That's why we pop this on here. So, um, Marcio, are you going to cook any bit? Are you kind of laying low till August?
So I'm doing a lot of fundraisers. We got a couple fundraisers coming up. We have I'm going to record with I'll be with Mike Smith, BBQ, doing a whole hog for B&B Charcoal
Okay.
this weekend actually. And so we're looking forward to that to hang out and feed some folks and just kind of we're doing just a backyard hog, just kind of folks that are on the backyard trying to learn
How to
or
do it?
they first time they want to do a hog, and we're going to keep it super simple. I mean, from the build of the pit to cooking the hog, as simple as it can get. Whole hog is the pinnacle of barbecue. It really is. It's something that everybody always talk about. It's you go to a barbecue, party that has a whole hog. People just they mesmerized by wow, look at it. And it's nothing that, to advantage is just the way it looks. And so a lot of people are very intimidated by it, but they, our goal to this video is just to show them, hey, you can do it. It's easy. Just get in there. And typically I'll tell people this, the very first time they cook a whole hog, they're going to nail it.
That's it.
I told Sonny, I said, you nailed this hog, but the next one you cook, you think you got it and you want to change it. And then we are our very, very worst enemy. And John can attest that. And Kathlyn, the more we cook, the more we tend to, let me make this change. And actually, you don't need to make large, big changes. And we ended up shooting ourselves on the foot.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got a couple questions that rolled in. I'll let each one of you answer it. We'll start with ladies first. Kathlyn, what's the number one piece of advice you give a first-time competition cook, steak or barbecue?
Number one, take a barbecue champs class.
Okay, wow. Hey, I'll have that $100 slid right into you.
Honestly,
wow.
With the steak cook, they're running about 150 to 160 for singles, and then 300 to 320 for doubles. You can pay, just a hair more than $160 and get a class and save some money. Just get your feet wet. For instance, I took John Lindsey's class, the first class I took with Barbecue Champs. I was getting second to last, third to last before then. I took his class, and then actually was leaving a competition and got it on my phone on the way home. So I looked at Brandon. I said, I'm buying a Barbecue Champs class. And
I just now heard this story.
Yeah. So John Lindsey was the first one I got. Very good. Learned a lot. The second or after that, I got 13th, and after that, I got my first walk. So
wow,
it really just breaks it down step by step. It helps a ton. I definitely wouldn't be sitting right here today without that, guidance from that class. I took John's, and then about 6 months later, I took Matt's. I started running Wicked Pig, and so I took that as well.
Right.
I owe a lot to Barbecue Champs. I owe a lot to my SCA family, and I owe a lot to my Mississippi family. Hands down, second to none. Love each and every one. I love everyone that I've met so far, and I can't wait to meet more people. It's been fantastic.
We love you too, Kathlyn.
There you go.
Awesome.
That's a good piece of advice. It does shorten the learning curve. Absolutely.
Yes.
Marcio, what's the number one piece of advice you give somebody cooking? I'm going to roll over to barbecue.
All right, so barbecue. Look, Champs Academy offer. If you're starting now, I do say this, Mike. What y'all done, y'all shave off many years of anyone that's trying to get out there and cook. Get in there and learn. So if you don't have access to anyone that's a mentor, Champs Academy will offer you that. And so you got here a ton of world champions with Mike Mike. I've watched it. I've seen people, and Kathlyn's one that I follow the progress. And there's a ton of people out there that have came in, and especially in barbecue, you've got guys that are really hot, hitting heavy, and they're watching classes, they're buying classes, and they're getting themselves updated, even though they're still on the top and they're learning. So this is a great way to shave off many years. Try and error. Watch the pros do it.
Yeah, I appreciate
Just
that,
buy it.
Marcio.
Get you one, buy it, and then have fun.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
absolutely.
So
I really appreciate that. I really do.
yeah, it really Champs Academy. It really is in technology itself. So what you created here, it's a gateway to greatness without a whole lot of work. Dude, think about it, Mike, and you've been barbecuing for a long time, and anyone here on this podcast can testify that this is incredible. You shave so much off of trying and doing when you can just pick one great class and just focus, do it over and over again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect for sure.
Yeah.
Trust in your process.
Correct.
That's really good. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Marcio. I really do.
You bet, buddy.
So
it's true. It really is. It's just you created something here that's super special for the barbecue community and the steak community that's trying to learn. It's pretty good stuff. I have not taken any class.
Yeah, he hasn't. That's why I'm shocked hearing this. I'm over here going, got chills. Like, man, up to hearing
Well,
from you. I
well,
really
the thing
appreciate
is,
that.
well, and it's not that. It's just, I mean, we have a process, and it's not that you're gonna find me, and I'm never gonna say never. You're gonna find me at Champs Academy one of these days.
Yeah,
You know,
probably
and
will.
Barbecue
and
Champs
I'm not.
alumni.
Oh yeah, and so I'm not going to say that I'm not going to take a class. I probably will, because when you get, and everybody has this thing, right? They got a little process, and it's probably going to come to a time where our process is not going to be hitting anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so,
Yeah,
and
yes.
hey, I know where to go.
Yeah, yeah. Lee Hickle told me Lee takes a class usually once a year. He'll try to take a class, and I think it was Matt Walker, and Matt was just tearing it up, and Matt said something that he said you never stop learning, and he said I think the story was he said he's a master electrician or something, and he said even with him as high as he is, every 6 months he's taking some type of class to learn to get better, and he said if you're not doing that, then you're not progressing. I think even Fred Robles has kind of said that. You need to take a class every year to stay on top of it. These are coming from world champions. These are coming from some of the greatest cooks there
Correct.
is.
And they're right.
You never stop learning in barbecue. And I think that's when people think, oh, I've got it. I don't need no more help. Well, that's when you're going to get left behind, because there's other people on here like, this man right here. And Chuck, I'm coming after you next, buddy, to get you on here. This guy was number 2 in the SCA World Championship, right behind Steve. And he's taken, I don't know, 3 or 4 of our classes. He was number 2 in the world. And I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So
The learning part, Mike, and I tell you this this story was always told by my mother about this great wise man that this guy was considered probably one of the sought after smart guy in Brazil, right? And super intelligent, very humble, lived up to 98 years old. And so he was in his deathbed just at last, and a reporter asked him, with so much wisdom and knowledge that he had, he said, if there was one thing that you could do in your life, I mean, you're like, everybody looks up to you as the smartest person that ever lived, that knows so much. And he said, if I could do one thing, I wish I could live longer so I can learn more.
Yeah. That's
I think if you're not learning, there's a lot of different ways that people learn things. You've done an exceptional job with Champs Academy. I'm gonna brag. I've said to many people that have asked, if you don't have a way, go there.
I really appreciate that.
Shaves off a bunch. So wouldn't you agree, John?
I had a patient tell me one time, if you don't learn something new every day, you're not living. So I try to learn something, whether it's something small or big. I try to learn something new or learn from a mistake. So
correct. That's what I was going to add. Mistakes are your best.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, John, what's the number one piece of advice you'd give somebody cooking for the first time? And let's throw you back to steak.
Well, I think that we've already hit the barbecue champs thing. That's a no-brainer. Now they're telling the truth about that, and it wouldn't matter if I was teaching something on here or not. I'm just telling you that's the way to go. Right. I could give you a story. Mark Lambert's class, Robbie Royal's class helped me to win New Year's Eve at the Hog Drop, and I hadn't cooked barbecue in 2 years. And I'm going to tell you, they're both phenomenal cooks and phenomenal guys and have a phenomenal class. But what I would say is this: and we've already touched on it just a little bit, but when you're cooking, whether you're steak, barbecue, whatever, keep good balanced flavors. Learn to get your texture and cook it correctly. And if you'll just do those 2 things, you'll be miles ahead. Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking for a magic bullet. Well, Mike, I'm here to tell you, there's not one out there. Mm-hmm. There's no magic bullets. There's not any one thing you can do, not one seasoning, not one this, that, and other. It's all got to be coming together. And the main thing where you start is keep it simple, keep it balanced, because balanced flavors will win in California. They'll win on the West Coast, the East Coast, and when Pennsylvania or down there where Marcio's at in Louisiana, balanced flavors are always going to come out on top, and learn to cook it correctly. If you'll do that, then you'll tweak just a little bit along, and then you'll be miles ahead of the game. So that would be my tip of somebody, barbecue, steak, whatever. Keep it balanced and learn to get the texture right. You'll beat a lot of people.
All right, I'm going to give you mine. Number one advice: take incredibly good notes of what you're doing. If you want to be consistent in cooking, you need to have good notes. I've got a list of every single competition I've ever done. This past weekend, I think I cooked my 114th cook-off. I've got every one of them of what I've done, my recipe exactly on every single thing, brisket, ribs, or chicken, whatever I cooked. Take incredibly good notes. Manage your time. And the most important thing, I understand, I don't drink. I don't drink. I go there to cook. I go there to have fun with my friends. But when it comes to Saturday to cook, try to, if you're going to drink, maybe cut it off just a little early so you'll wake up a little bit more clear-headed on Saturday. Because I've seen some friends and I'm over there at 7 o'clock knocking on the door and like, hey, man, you might want to get up because your grill ain't lit and it's 7 o'clock. So my number one piece of advice would be that have fun, be responsible at the end of the day. So if you wonder why you're not doing good, you might want to take a look at that and take incredibly good notes. I know the barometric pressure, I know the temperature, I know the humidity, I know everything of every cook-off that I ever go to, and I've got all my recipes. So good notes will really push you a long ways of knowing what you're doing. All right, so we've got another quick question. I love these questions popping in. And normally we wrap it up in an hour. We still got a lot of people on here, and we got questions coming in. So real quick, what's your favorite local competition, one that's close to your home and close to your heart? Marcio, you go first, buddy.
Well, it has become Biloxi MBN. This is their second year. We have a lot of fun. It's here, hometown. I'm going to tell you this now. When I had a little bit more time, I've always enjoyed Mark Lambert's competitions up there. Mark puts out an exceptional comp. Jamie Cooley puts out, there's so many out there,
Right.
And so I'd say Mark 1, 2 James, and then 3 Biloxi. So,
All right.
which is an MBN. So,
All right. Kathlyn, what's your favorite local competition, one that's close to home and close to your heart?
Number one for me would have to be Boonville, Mississippi. Supports the Bonner's children. Close the Burns, they throw that one. They're very, very close friends of ours. We are sponsored by Hotty Toddy, Party Marcasipi. And that one's also very special to me for the calls, and also that's where I got my first call, my fourth place call, and that's where I actually got to meet a lot of people. I got to meet Johnny Joseph, Candace and Carol, some SCA reps. I met Larry and Jane, Danny Kennedy. Got to officially meet the Burns. I mean, it was just a great comp. It will all forever hold a special place in my heart, not only for the calls, but just for the experience. Number 2 would be Searcy, Arkansas, for the Jesse Dillon James. That supports team bowling, and that James family. They are great, top-notch people. I would do anything for them, and they would do anything for me. And then number 3, I'd have to give that a tie. My local SCA comp here, downtown Jonesboro, and then my back home where I'm originally from, comp in Kennett, Missouri. That one supports kids in need, and then the one here supports the downtown and the city of Jonesboro. All in all, but I mean, those are my top 3. But every single one we go to is my favorite. I mean, they all have good causes.
Good
Steaks for
Right.
Sheepdogs, that's another good one.
That's a good
St.
one.
Jude, I mean, the Lions Club, they're all great. It's really hard to pick one favorite because me and Brandon love going. We love supporting everything. And that's one good thing about the SCA and any barbecue comp or anything that you're cooking in that supports a cause. You feel like when you show up, you're giving back as soon as you step your feet on the ground. And you get to meet some of these people that are benefiting from this fundraiser that you're there for. And it's just very heartwarming, and wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been an awesome experience.
There you go. All right, John, what's your number one? No, wait a minute. What's your favorite local competition, One that is close to your home and close to your heart. There's the question.
Well, my favorite competition would be the Boonville, Mississippi, supporting Ronald Burns and his family. It's not as local as maybe you would think, but it's a little farther away. But that's my favorite, bar none, to go down there and support Clint Burns and Darby and their family. Number one, bar none. Secondly, very close second will be Searcy, Arkansas, which will be cooking this weekend. Jesse Dillon James cook-off. Love that family and love what that stands for. It's a local comp here. And then since we're doing 3, I'm going to give you the Townsend Spice and Supply that'll be coming up in August that supports steaks for sheepdogs. Yep. Shane Lynn, Lawson Lynn, and everybody there are second to none. And those are more local to me than the Boonville, but I love them all. And those are 3 of the best right there.
There you go. Well, guys and gals, I really appreciate so much, y'all spending a little time. We went a little over tonight, but man, we've had some great conversation, and still having a lot of people stay on and got questions asked. That's great. That means we really kept everybody's attention, and I'm glad everybody stayed tonight for this. We're going to try to have another Stacked House again next weekend. Next Tuesday, Lord willing. We'll be back. I've got several that I'm wanting to talk to and bring on. And real quick, just Marcio, do you got anything you want to thank your sponsors real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Any final closing thoughts? So don't leave, guys. Let them get their sponsors out. So go ahead.
Well, I'd like to thank my team, White Lightning, Matt with Wicked Pig, Gunnar Wilhelm, B&B Charcoal, and then, of course, our partner, BBQ, Mike Smith. So
yeah, awesome. Well, Marcio, I tell you what, man, it's been great. This is the first time we've ever really just got to talk, and man, you're just such a great guy. I've heard so much about you, and I knew I've got to get you on here. Thank you, man, for taking the time out to be on Barbecue Champs Live tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for everything you do, man. I really do meant that you got something really special going on here with Barbecue Champs.
For sure.
There's a lot of you're drawing up a crowd and building up the barbecue community to the next level where the chances are much better for them now with this program than that ever been before. So you're doing a great job, buddy.
It means a lot. My whole envision of doing it was to grow the sport of barbecue and steak competitions, and we're almost 3 years there. 2 weeks we'll be 3 years old, and
wow.
We have definitely done it. I know there is hundreds and hundreds of people that have bought classes in both steak and barbecue. So thank you so much. It means a lot.
And I like to
somebody like you.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's an honor to be here. And Kathlyn, thank you for sharing the screen with me and John, you as well. And y'all just keep on cooking and having fun. And hopefully I'll run into you y'all soon.
Hey,
sir.
Thank you.
Caitlin, what have you got? You want to thank your sponsors real quick? Any closing
yes,
thoughts?
sir. I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at today without them. I need to thank Team Mississippi, All Queued Up Seasoning, Holly Toddy Seasonings, Big Jim Hudgens Seasonings, Team Royal Oak Charcoal, Team PK, Maggie's Farm, Lottie's Pepper Jelly, and Kelly's Mustard.
Oh, that's what I forgot. Maggie Farm.
Maggie Farms. There you go.
Definitely wouldn't be here today without my sponsors. They help us get to that, those calls every weekend when we're competing. They help us be the king of our cul-de-sac when we're out here cooking for our neighbors and friends. Been a great time tonight. Thank you so much again, Mike, for this platform. It's been an honor sharing this screen with every single one of you. Marcio, I've enjoyed meeting you at Worlds for the first time last year. I love watching your journey on Facebook. If it wasn't for social media, where would we be? We would be able to keep up with you.
We wouldn't be here tonight, that's for sure.
But the first time I met you, Marcel, you just had a very warm and opening spirit about you. And John, I can't say enough about you. You have been my mentor from day one when I was a nobody. And thank you for everything. And this has been great. And love my SDA family. And I love everybody out there. And I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
John?
Love Caitlin. Yes.
You're up, buddy.
Hey, before we get off here, Marcio, I want to know how to pronounce your last name.
We were talking about
I want to hear that right now from the horse's mouth. I've heard it pronounced 4 or 5 different ways just this week. and I want to know how to pronounce it. Can you give me that before we get off of here?
All right. John, you got to get into the sales market because if you salespeople, when they call me and they say, Mr. Borguezan. And that's exactly how you pronounce Borguezan.
Okay. I heard it
So-
pronounced Brogine here about a week ago in Glencoe, and then Borguezan a day or two later. And I thought, when I get on that show with Marcio, I'm going to figure out exactly how to pronounce that name, so I'll know next time he's in the winner's circle and we're doing the Ribeye Roundup show. Well, I can get it right. See?
That's right.
Well, it's been my honor and privilege to be on this show with Mike Steele, Marcio Borguezan, and Miss Kathlyn Crain. Appreciate all of you and what you stand for. Kathlyn, love you, and Brandon, y'all are special folks. And I just want to say it's been great to have the sponsors that I've had. I've tried to work just as hard for them as they have worked for me. Mm-hmm. I want to thank number one, Barbecue Champs Academy. Everything that you've done for me. Bama QTV and Mike Smith, we've been on season 5 and 6 of that, and have been able to go film with him. It's really become a family with them, and I appreciate that backing and support and what they've meant to the sport of steak cooking and barbecue. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Camp Chef has started backing me this year, and I can't tell you, they've been nothing but just absolutely wonderful. Ryan Eftink with Smoking Brothers, worked with him some and appreciate him. And Townsend Spice and Supply, Shane Lawson Lynn, they've stepped up and supported me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them. I guess the big one, and they, you got some, I'm not going to say one's even bigger than the other ones, but the ones that really step up day in, day out, that have made this thing just really changed it for me, and that is Papa's Grilling Products, the charcoal and pellets that they put out, the support that Steve DeVoe and Michael Woods have given me. I could have went with several charcoal companies and pellet companies. I could have went with a bunch of different ones, but I'm going to tell you, these guys are the real deal, and they've got some of the best products, locally sourced, Mountain View, Arkansas, and I wouldn't change for anything in the world. I love those guys and that product. And also Hasty Bake, Nick Parsons, Jennifer Bussell, Hasty Bake Grills. Can't tell you how much I appreciate them and being on that pro staff. So
there you go.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. This has been a great show, probably one of our longest shows. I'm usually pretty good about ending it in an hour, but it's just been such fun and a lot of good topics to talk about. We've had such a great audience. I want to thank everybody that has been with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate you being loyal listeners. And for all of you out there that have bought classes from Barbecue Champs, from the bottom of my heart, I absolutely appreciate and love each and every one of you. I hope we've had just a little small part in helping you grow in your barbecue or steak cooking competitions. That was my whole passion and goal behind it. I took a huge risk doing this. Did not know what was going to happen. And it's paid off. And just to see the help and the success that it has had for so many people, to me, it means the world. And to me, to have somebody like Marcio, who hasn't even got any skin in the game in this and hasn't even bought a class and is not part of it, for him to say what he did. Thank you, Marcio. That does mean a lot to me. Thank each and every one of you. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Y'all go out there. Have a lot of fun and